In the meantime, the poll is closing, folks. And just while we have our next entrepreneur coming on, Lena is going to play a little video for you, introducing them better than I will ever be able to anyways. But in the meantime, please welcome Kaitlin.
Hi, my name is Kaitlin. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Indonesia. I'm the founder of Makan Impact, an app designed to reduce food inequality in Indonesia by providing channels for redistributions of food while limiting household waste. I'm attending this bullpen to measure my progress with Makan Impact and gain more feedback from the judges.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kaitlin. Oh, we haven't quite got her on as panelist yet. It must still just be moving in that direction. Hopefully it gets us there in a moment. But wonderful. Here we go. Now technology works. Spectacular. Kaitlin, how are you?
Hi.
Good to see you again. I know that you've done one bullpen before, so you feel like you're more ready for this one?
Hopefully.
Hopefully. All right. Fantastic. Well, we're looking forward to it. Whenever you're ready, let's get it going.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Kaitlin, and some of you might remember me from a couple months back. Today, I will be pitching my business idea, Makan Impact. Ever since a young child, I was raised in a household who is very passionate about the food industry and about making a positive change. Makan Impact started when observing the problem where Indonesians contribute to around 23 to 48 tons of food annually, which results in a lot of energy loss. To put it into perspective, 23 to 48 tons of food waste is equivalent to about 70,000 bowls of rice being wasted annually at a minimum. This of course impacts the environment because of its large CO2 footprint and lots of energy being lost. The amount of energy wasted was enough to provide one meal to 125 million people per year. This is a completely preventable problem because this problem stems from the behavior people have. They buy too much food, they throw away foods that aren't eaten or expired, and the Indonesian culture where food is a representation of love and purchasing a lot of food and throwing lavish parties are a symbol of status. It is not only a problem, but it is a problem in a country where there is a lot of food inequality. So on the one hand, we have people who are very wealthy, can afford to waste food, but we also have 24 million Indonesians who are unable to meet the minimum calorie requirement. This is why I'm very passionate about this and why I want to solve food waste in my home country. So if we were to summarize this problem into a problem definition statement, on the one hand, the Indonesian society needs to become aware and needs to keep track of how much food they waste. And we also need to find a way to recycle the leftover food because it can reach those who need it. So our solution is Makan Impact. And I would just like to share a little backstory of our name. So Makan means food in Indonesian, and it is a play on the words make an impact. So Makan Impact is essentially a bilingual food waste tracker that allows for users to manage their consumption and waste while recommending alternate options to managing food waste, such as reinvention of foods, access to food banks, and more. In our initial research, we found the pains and gains of our consumers and created our app to match these insights. With a quick search on Apple Store and a click of a button, gaining access to our services is easy, as everything is accessible on our app. We also allow more than one user to track their household waste, and all of our competitors do not allow the option of adding more than one person to track a household's waste, and we believe by allowing users to connect with friends and family, we provide them with another motive to consistently choose Makan Impact. Users also gain access to points and rewards for every time they use our app, which also serves as another incentive for them to consistently use our app. On our app, users gain direct channels to local food banks if they wish to redistribute their leftover foods. They are able to customize and track their consumption versus waste and turn on expiry notifications and get inspired to reinvent meals with our recipes. Here's where you can connect with others and track your food waste together with your friends or families. So we target multiple groups. We target families that have a lot of people to feed and thus a lot of groceries to purchase. Secondly, we target young moms who might be interested in food sustainability and need inspiration on what to cook with the available groceries they have. And finally, we also target local food banks and F&B industries who will also partner up with us for our rewards and voucher system. We mainly earn our profits from our freemium model and partnerships in order to promote our business from universities to food banks to NGOs and hopefully in the future, the government. Through benchmarking, we found that these prices listed here were the most suitable with still competitive pricing. To market our service and gain traction on our app, we plan to utilize social media first, such as Facebook, influencers in the food sustainability space, Instagram, and TikTok. We will also implement word of mouth strategies to gain a wider audience. So what is the impact from Makan Impact? Firstly, if we reach our target of 300 to 500 users within the first 12 months, we would be able to save up to 2.5 tons of carbon dioxide released in the environment while still changing the behavior of users, raising awareness, and reducing the impact on the environment. You can scan this QR code to follow our Instagram and join me in the movement to save the love and the planet. Thank you for listening.
Well done, Kaitlin. That was much improved. I know I've seen the previous one. I'm not sure the judges have, but that was much improved from the last one, I have to say. So let's see what they have to say. But can I kick you off with a question from the audience first, if that's all right? Can I just ask and the audience member has asked, what if people that could use this app don't have a device like a phone or laptop?
So that is one of the problems that we have not really thought of yet because we're still in the developing stage of the app. But if they don't have access to phones and a device, they can still connect to food banks because these food banks, they have like local, they have like a little bin where you can drop off your food. And these are like near like really popular places in Indonesia. And so if there's no devices, then you can go to these drop-off bins and just drop off your donations there.
Okay, cool. Maybe that's another way to even raise awareness of this even further. Judges, I hand over to you. John, do you mind if we start going the other way around this time?
For sure. Thanks for this presentation. It's really interesting stuff. I did a lot of research into this as similar topic in grad school, so great to see you working on this. One thing that I was struggling with as well is like the distribution of the food. I know you're working with food banks, but have you thought of other ways to like actually move the food and so it's easy for people to access and share?
So our main priority was food banks because through market research, we noticed that here in Indonesia, it's the easiest method for people to gain access to foods, but there are also other initiatives such as school clubs and other personal NGOs where people go to the food donation themselves and also donate their time to collecting foods and giving it directly to the orphanages or the people that need the food donations without using the food banks as a channel. So that is another way of redistributing the food around.
Wonderful. Quick follow-up if you don't mind. Who do you see like transporting the food? Is it that's something that a partnership, or is that the users in the app or the food banks and other like that?
So for in terms of getting the food around, when we were emailing with the potential partners, we asked them how will our users get the food, and they offer, so the food banks offer free services where they have their own delivery trucks, and what they do is you call them at their phone number, and you tell them your address, and those trucks will come to your address and they will pick up the food, and then they will send it off to whoever the donations are getting to at that moment. And so users don't have to worry about the logistics or anything because they're all provided by our partners.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Kaitlin. Marcelo.
Yeah, oh, congratulations, Kaitlin. This was an awesome presentation, much better for sure. And beautiful and meaningful purpose. I really love it. I had a question about logistics. You already answered, so we can save some time here. Perhaps one comment suggestion, you know that according to behavioral economics, we humans are a very strange animal. And perhaps, I don't know if you have that in you, or at least I didn't hear that, but competition, you know, if you put people to compete, like who saves more food, you will be awesome. How much you improve your results by just running little competitions, you know, in a building or even within the families. I think you mentioned something about rewards, but I didn't know if you included the idea of people, put people to compete. And I am sure that will increase your savings. So just such only a recommendation.
Thank you for that recommendation. Adding on to the rewards and point system, we did not think of adding competition yet, but that is also definitely something we can implement during our app development. But our main idea for the rewards and point system is that when users first download the app, there is this tree, however, without any of the hearts. And basically, the more that users track their food or use our app or recommend our app to other users, the more hearts that will appear in this tree. And each heart represents the amounts of points you have with our app. And the more points you get, they are transferable to discounts and rewards for local F&B businesses. So that's the reward system.
Put 2 or 3 trees back to back and people competing for hearts, you will be surprised.
Yes, we will definitely put that into consideration when we're further developing the app.
Thank you.
What a wonderful idea. Marjana, if you've got any questions, I'm going to ask you to ask it. But audience, we're also going to launch the poll at this point in time. So while that's being answered, or if Khan has anything, then we'll go with that. Sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, you mentioned you would operate on a freemium model. What does the pay for service offer that the free service does not offer?
So the basic service is that users can download our app and they get to track their food waste. And they also they can add 1 member. However, if they were to pay for the freemium model, they gain access to the channels to the food banks. They also gain access to the recipes to reinvent their leftover foods. And also, if you're a basic member, you can still collect points. However, if you want to transfer it into discounts, you would have to pay the freemium model to do that.
Thank you. I love this idea. This is a cause near and dear to my heart. So I don't have any further questions.
Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, done really well, Kaitlin. I'm very impressed with that. Let's see what our panel thinks this time.